my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody just calm down!
Help!
Here. Oh, take my hand. Ah, come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me.
Take it. Take my hand.
I just noticed he was humping the chair. I never saw that before.
Really?
Like,
I have to look at it again now.
Yeah. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Gentlemen, we are assembled.
Doctor.
This could be the last time, Camel, that we're it is. I'm promising this is the last time because I'm pretty
Tired?
close to finishing here.
Bored?
I'm tired. I need to move on.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Let me take a look. Let me see what you got.
Let me share it. Let me share what I haven't done any more and since I showed you because I had to work all day. But
Boring.
I agree with your feedback that you gave me.
Oh, good.
So
what did you say? Make it good?
I said do it over.
start again. Erase everything.
Yeah.
And start again. He just said, we can go a little bit more intense on the, I think you would call them specular highlights on robust to really sell that chrome effect. So not just like shiny metal gold, but actually like polished chrome gold.
Yeah, I think the word I used was globs of light.
Specular highlights, globs of light.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do your fancy terms. I just like,
But no, you know what happens is I spent way too long on him. Is at first I was going to wait to the last, and I thought, no, I usually do the hard things at the start because I want to get them out of the way. Because I don't know if you're like this, but when I start a big thing, whether it's a project, a comic, a really intense piece, the closer I get to the end, the sort of harder it is to finish. Because I'm like, well, it's only a little bit left now. I lose motivation. So I like to get those big things done first. So I did that. But I also find that when you look at something for too long, it's like one of those words. You just say a word too many times and you're like, that's not how it's spelt. That's not how it sounds.
That's not how it sounds. Nobody says toilet.
Exactly.
Toilet?
Yeah.
Toilet.
That's not it, is it? Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to put this to the side for now, and I'm going to be able to go back later and hopefully just, finish it off in 10 minutes or so, just polishing it essentially. But anyway, there's still some stuff left to do. So there's some work in this. But before we get to any of that, welcome everybody. 40 people in the chat. Hail, thank you so much. Let's say hello to some people. I like how Jeremy Burtz knows the deal. He's been around. He just shoots in a hail. And normally he's the first man, but he knows this is a draw stream, so he knows we don't do that here. And I hail right back at you, Jeremy. We've got Norin Red in the house. John's here. He was hanging out with John over on Shanthas earlier.
Nice.
Shanth is the best draw streamer of them all. Painter streamer. He is.
You nearly got yourself in trouble though. You nearly said best solo streamer of them all.
That would be me.
Camel is pretty good. You did a good 2-hour show. I watched the whole thing.
I just kept talking.
I don't know. I mean,
about nothing.
best Yeah, but you can do that. Best
You're getting really
solo
good, Mike.
streamer.
You're getting really good.
I'm feeling like I'm getting into the groove, but look, I don't know. That's up to taste. I think some people get like 20,000 people watching. They're probably better than us. But Shant is. I go to Shant when I need. I like motivational speakers. He's like a motivational speaker, but for comics.
Who do you go to
And,
when you're angry at the world and you want to hear people be angry at the world? Is that Camel?
That's my new
never
upcoming
happened.
solo stream.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
Camel's
great.
like Mike's not invited to that because he can't sympathize.
Yeah, no, I've already discussed it with my wife. I'll be doing it once a week, and it's just called "Fuck This Shit," and I'm just gonna
Love it.
It's gonna be
I'll be there.
whatever I just watched or played that's fucking terrible. So tomorrow I'll be doing it, and I'll be talking about this movie Barbarian because fuck that fucking shit.
You didn't like Barbarian?
It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Dude, I hope you're not joking. Like, I hope you actually do this show. I'll watch
Yeah,
that.
I'm not doing this.
It's
Yeah,
terrible. It's.
Yeah, but
I
you're
will
doing the show,
dissect
yeah?
The whole movie. It's.
yeah. Like because I couldn't tell if you were
Flaming
joking.
No, it's
I
Excellent.
watched it twice.
Yeah, no, that's a
Camel.
great idea. Who else we got in here? We got Eric Grant, Philbo Baggins. I see Charlie Chan. I see the Voyager. Frankly, Snarkticon's here. Always a pleasure to see the man in the chat here, as well as Angela Curry. Some ladies, get some representation up here in the chat. Hyper Wizard, Serious Cat. And I'm just going to. Felix Huss is here. Did I miss anyone? Dal, Stephen Rockwood, Timmy Mello. All right, it's time to get on with the show. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Are we also, of course, as always, simulcast on Rumble, in case you weren't aware, and you prefer hanging out over there and ranting instead of chatting? Put the link in the chat for you.
What, you can rant on Rumble?
They call it rants. Like they're trying to make it their own thing. Like the chat is called like rants. Actually, I think they might have. They've changed it.
Are they
good.
the Rumblers? The rough and rumble?
Yeah. No, that's what it is. And it's like, no, it really is. It's like the Rumble rants. They've changed it to live chat. Thank God. Like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just have an alternative platform. That's all you need. But it looks like they are.
Did I get my Rumble box in today? Like this.
They are called that, I think.
Are they? Oh God, you gotta be kidding.
I don't know. It's called. Let me see if I click this. What happens? It is no. Right. A rant is when you pay. So that's the super chat. That's their branded super chat. Right. Okay, that makes sense now. But we've got 368 subs over on Rumble. 3 watching now. Hello, everyone over there. That's excellent. I feel like I've achieved something when I get 500 subs on Rumble. That feels like something.
500 subs and 5 viewers.
I sometimes get more than that. Look, it's a new platform. It's an alternative platform. It is what it is. There's people who get tens of thousands of views on their Rumble. They actually get more viewers on their Rumble than on their YouTube. I'm not looking to do that, but I just feel better knowing that it's there. Because there have been moments where I've kind of panicked. You see someone just disappear. And you're like, God, if my channel went away tomorrow, that's 3 straight years of work just gone. And it happens all the time.
Yeah, imagine if you had like 400,000 subs.
I think it's happened to someone with 2 million subs.
I mean, that's just like, you just slice your wrists in a bathtub after that. I mean, there's no coming back. You're like, well, I guess my life is over.
Just start again. Go to Rumble.
Yeah, okay.
Go to Rumble and start again. It's like,
yeah.
At that point, it's too late.
Sub and 30 people watch.
Yeah.
Camel, are you drawing?
No, I finished drawing. Actually,
he's drinking.
I can show you. It's on the campaign page. If you bring up Boots and Heels, I finished that cover. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Oh, what I saw was looking good. Let's see the whole thing.
I added all the powers. and I finished the rocks. I finished the whole thing, you know. But
Which one?
keep going. It's the X then.
Oh,
There
yeah.
it is.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, the
That's
powers came out
funny.
good.
We're a bit simpatico in the color.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's why I asked you to do it, because I knew that we'd have a similar style. And
Yeah.
the only thing that's different, and I might even ask you to look into it, is I did a sort of a debris texture on the rocks, and I can show you how to do it. But I think it
Yeah.
definitely makes it not look like slate and look like granite or something.
Yeah.
But you know, I think I think it came out good. I like how the powers look like powers, and it's very colorful, and lighting came out good, I think. So
Oh yeah, I like that texture. It looks good.
mhm.
Yeah, I used to use, when I started, I was using a lot more textures, and I just sort of stopped using them as much purely out of time.
Oh yeah.
For my interiors and stuff. Like I have a pretty strict approach to my interiors. I only do this, I don't do that sort of thing, because it's time. But you know, when it's a cover, you go all out. So yeah, let me know and I'll definitely add it. That's like, I was actually spending some time doing the like shading and highlights on the rocks. So
It took forever. I mean, that cover, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it looks good. You know, I'll probably post it on Twitter tomorrow. But you know, I did that stupid thing. I put it on Twitter at like noon on a Saturday, and then like an hour goes by and it has like 0 likes. I'm like, oh, that's right. No one is here. So I'll post it tomorrow at like 5 o'clock. That's usually when, for me, I get the most views on something. So
they changed the Twitter algorithm a couple of weeks ago. It's been pretty dreadful. I was loving Twitter. Ever since Elon took over, I was like, wow, I'm famous. I was posting art and getting hundreds of likes.
Yeah.
And now
like,
it's just like, no, I was like, well, I mean, this is the new Twitter. Great. Like, I thought, is this okay? You know, I've got 5,000 followers. Maybe they're just actually sharing it out to your followers now more.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of back to what it was before, actually a little bit worse. And I see a lot of people complaining that, yeah, they're getting really bad impressions and engagement.
Yeah, and it's annoying too. I am 5 follows away from 1,000 followers on Twitter, which has taken me forever because, you know, I didn't get on Twitter till I got here and met everybody. So it's, you know, it's been kind of a slow crawl. But, you know, I used to put up a Hail Salad piece and get 150 likes back when I had 250 followers.
Yeah.
Now I'm lucky if I get 25, and I'm 5 away from 1,000 followers. It's like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it doesn't even seem to make a difference.
It makes you question the, you know, why even promote on Twitter?
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's a good place to communicate with people you know, but then people follow you for that reason. So
I don't know if it's just you guys, but I'm getting followed by a lot of like sex bot chicks.
Yeah, I get that.
I've never gotten that.
What are you
more so recently than ever before. It's crazy. Actually.
Mike, go back to there's a building I want to talk to you about.
Which
All
one?
right, go the one right above high heels. Can you zoom into that?
This one?
Yeah. So you have that as like a pink now I think that's supposed to be like, what, can you zoom in again? I really can't tell what I'm looking at, to be honest with you.
Hang on. Am I sharing the...
Oh, yeah, you are. Okay. So because that rust blends into the background, I would do something to like pop it out a little bit. Like from far back, it just looks like a blur, and I can't really tell what it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
But don't you want it to blend into the background though?
I don't want it to look like it's miscolored. That's my worry.
It has to look like it's in the background, and it does.
That it's its own thing.
But you can, you can still play around with the actual hue. Yeah, so that's what I mean. That's pretty much what I've got to do. I think I've got to finish off these 2 characters here. finish off whatever I'm going to change around with these background buildings, add the specular highlights to him. What are you laughing at?
Buck Nasty goes, he means fix it now.
Exactly.
That's something I'm gonna have to play around with. I don't really play around live. Like,
I wouldn't either because you don't know.
A lot of coloring is
Oh,
trial and error,
looks
and
great.
just yeah, really happy with how
That's sick. Yeah.
A lot of coloring is just playing around, and because you have some techniques you have that your go-to ones. They might not work. Okay, so you got to try something new, and mess around like that. And I don't know. I'm not like that's why Shant is a better draw streamer than me, because he'll just do whatever. He feels comfortable. Unhinged says, I do it live. People know I'm no hack. Hint, hint, Bancroft. I know, Jason. You're another one. We're also joined here by Nolan Lock, Camel's other best friend, Nolan Lockhart. So,
my first best friend.
First best friend. And
I let him and Nate, fight it out. I hang out with one after school, and then I have lunch with the other one. And I'm like, you're both my best friends,
And Mike TV Dub is there with us on Rumble. We've got 5 over there now, Rob, you naysayer.
I said 5.
Oh, yeah, you did. Speaking of numbers, the wheel giveaway is growing.
Hell yes.
Well, I think we're one. I just checked just before we started the stream. We're one sign up away from 350. So if anyone out there hasn't signed up to the Great Wheel giveaway, now's your chance to become a legend.
And what do we do with these emails again?
You let them know when Boots and Heels.
You can do whatever you want with them, Camel.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
If you abuse them, I'm sure they'll unsubscribe from you and then yell at me. But
I was going to sell them, to like a marketing company. I don't know if that was all right, but all right.
Sell them to a sex bot.
Yeah, I just thought they were up to debate. So,
well, I have an email that's only sort of comics related. That's the email that I share out everywhere, and so it's I get tons of updates from people on it and stuff like that. And if ever it gets compromised, I'll just start a new one.
I have a trench coat. I open it up. Hey man, you want to buy some emails?
Got some emails here.
You try selling them in your housing community, and they're like, "What's an email?"
Yeah, it's not. Hey man, I got those emails you're looking for. Great price.
You know what I'm uploading tomorrow, Camel? I cut down our discussion of Batman and Superman, that deviant art thing or whatever the hell it was. I put that into a video.
I don't remember.
I know like last week. I think we were launching this actually on the standee, and we went. It was on my. It must have been on my channel because I downloaded it. And it's like it's friggin' hilarious. Our banter. I hope it does. It probably won't, because those videos never do. But
do you want to like elaborate on what you talked about?
Basically,
I don't remember.
Ethan shared it last week. It's basically a fan art piece of Superman. Using his X-ray vision to check out Batman's ass, and we just laugh at it for like 5 minutes, and it's a very funny video. I'm hoping it's because it's Batman and Superman related, that it'll like people will actually pay attention to it, because usually the cut downs are not, and I understand why they don't do well, because a lot of the audience.
So I stopped doing them. I mean, they did okay, but they really do better when you have a massive channel. But other than that, it's kind of pulling teeth. Yeah,
they're very hit and miss. One of them, like The fifth last one I did had 4,500 views. The last one I did has 180. It's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. All right. Suppose I gotta get to doing something here.
Color. So I started watching.
Snipercon-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, Snipercon wants the whole animation of the Shane thing. I might do the end of it. It's very long. Like that, especially that one was very involved. I have an animation. I have some audio of Ethan. I have some audio of Cecil that I can make, but they're not going to be as involved as previously, I think, because it's too much time to do all that fancy stuff. But yeah, the Shane one, yeah, I want to use it, so we'll see. But I can only do so much. They take a long time to make.
I'm just one man.
I'm just one man. Exactly.
So I started watching. So I finished The Lord of the Rings. I finished all 3.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So here's my question: in the 2 towers, so what's the second tower? We don't see there's one tower.
That the tower at Mordor.
Well, there's the tower that Count Dooku lives on, right? or whatever his name is, Mr. Sauron.
That's Orthanc, isn't it? Anyway, yes, that tower.
Yeah, right. Okay, and then, but what's the other tower? I mean, because like, the Deep Helmet or Dark Helmet. What's the name of the castle where all the?
Are you trying to trigger me? Which one?
The cat. They all. So in the second movie, they all have to go hang out in the castle that has its back up against a mountain. It's like Dark Helmet or something. It's called.
Mordor. Are you talking about? So Pedro Ang says Orthanc and Minas Morgul are the 2 towers. So
Helm's Deep.
Oh,
what did you say?
No.
I thought it was Dark Helmet or something. Whatever.
Oh,
So I thought that was
done,
the second
Dale.
tower, but that tower is not a tower. I mean, it's quite small. So yeah, there's the other tower where they build all the orc people, and then that's it. There's no other tower. I don't know what's 2 towers.
There is another tower. It's Minas Morgul. It's in Mordor. It's because the 2 towers is about the alliance between Sauron and Saruman. Yeah, that's the movie.
Is this what it's like when I come up with my suggestions, Mike? Like,
no, look,
same amount of pain.
I get it because that movie of all of them to me was the one that felt most condensed. So
yeah, I remember watching all of them like when they came out, and I remember liking the first one enough and be like, okay, it's fine. And then the second one, I was like, I don't know what this is. Just there's too much going on, and and then the third one, I was like, okay, well, this is also good. It explains Smeagol, right? Is he a person or what was he? Was he a dwarf or elk? Or
you said you finished it? Did you finish Return of the King?
Yeah, but what is he? Is he a human?
It was in the thing.
I know, but like he kind of looks like a person, but he kind of looks like a hobbit.
He was I would say the hobbits and whatever Smeagol was I don't know if they're exactly the same thing, but like maybe they share a common ancestor. I mean, he's been around a long time. People say he's a hobbit. Yeah. Oh, Ethan's here. Hey, Ethan. Yeah, he's a hobbit. So does Mortal V. He's a hobbit.
Oh, yeah, he is a hobbit. Okay.
So. Like, there's all these different kinds of hobbits. Like,
right. That's what I figured.
There's the Harfoots. They're a different kind of hobbit. But yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't quite look like Frodo and Dr. Sam, right? He looks like, he looks like his own thing, So yeah, these are just like some of the questions that I had when I was watching it. The other thing is, so at the end, they get to the big wall, right? And the wall opens up, the gate opens up. I don't understand why Aragon
Hang on. What? Oh, right. You're watching the extended cut,
Yeah.
and the mouth of Sauron comes out. Yeah.
Right. Who looks like he's out of, like Silent Hill or something.
Yes.
And I don't remember
that wasn't in the
all.
theatrical release. Yeah, they cut that.
See, that part was cool. That should have been in the theatrical.
I haven't seen that.
That guy was badass.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, I've got it saved here.
Yeah, he looks right out of like some type of Resident Evil, Silent Hill. It was pretty cool.
Nolan's got a really good comment, Camel. He says, so who's like the Lord of the Ring, Camel?
Well, okay. I'm gonna get to that. So they open the gates, okay, and then there's this massive army comes out, but Aragon, right, already released the king of the ghost people, and was like, all right, you're free now. I was like, why didn't he save him? Like, why didn't he wait till he got to Mordor? Or whatever?
I did think of that as well. It's like, look, I will release you, but this is just one battle. This is a war.
Like
we have another army to defeat.
With 3 battles, guys. 3 battles. Like eternity of rest. You can do one more battle.
Pedro Ang points out Gimli did say that. Probably best not to get rid of them. They're pretty good in a tight fix. These fellas.
That was like the stupidest part of all 3 movies. That ghost.
Let me grab this. Let me grab this super chat. Unhinged. I love you, Camel, but kick Camel. Thank you, Unhinged. We're all thinking the same thing. I love the Ghost Army. That's some of the best stuff.
Yeah, no, that was fine. I just think I would have used them more. Like, I wouldn't. If I have this trump card, I wouldn't be like, wow, we're good. So anyway,
that's also one of the best parts of the entire thing. Is when he turns around and says for Frodo, and like that bit that gets me every time. I almost get teary when I see that.
Yeah, that's nice. That was nice. But here's the thing: Frodo is kind of like a bitch. He gets there, and he can't throw the ring in, and then he disappears, and then Smeagol is like, "No, I'm going to bite your finger off," and the ring is only destroyed because they fight for it, and Frodo's seen as some hero. It's like he didn't do anything. He didn't actively make the decision. He didn't push Smeagol into the fire. They just fell in. I thought that was stupid.
He did walk across, half of Middle Earth through every danger.
That means nothing. It doesn't mean anything unless you get there and then you do something about it.
I'm glad you're not having this discussion on your launch day, Camel, because I feel like you'd be costing yourself just because backers.
Well, that Sketch 51 says Sam's the actual. Yeah, Sam is a badass. Sam is like fighting orcs
but everyone understands that Sam is a massive hero. Like that's part of the story. Everyone.
Oh, Sam's the worst.
What? You're Sam. You're Sam. I'm watching this.
Where Frodo? Where Frodo? My God, shut up. Stop talking, dude.
I'm watching this movie and I'm like, all right, so Bancroft is Frodo, Rob is Sam. I guess that would make me either Smeagol.
You're Sauron.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that. I was going to say, maybe I could be Bilbo, But, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Nolan Lockhart has it. Why wasn't Frodo able to completely resist the most powerful ring in the world?
Well, I mean, it's powerful, but at what use? Like, he can't do anything with it. What is it doing for him? Is it getting him laid? Like, I don't know.
It could in your world. It very much could.
Duty, a responsibility that he's taken upon himself. Philbo says, why not just get the Lord of the Eagles to fly by and drop the ring in Mount Doom in the first scene? Then there'd be no movie. Yeah, we've heard that a million times. I know. I was expecting that.
What do you think of that?
Obviously ridiculous.
Yeah,
the whole point.
I didn't think of that because, you ought to train these birds. Have you ever tried to train an animal? Like, that sucks. So I can't imagine that would be easy to do.
The whole point, this is Micro. The whole point of Frodo was that he wasn't special, but he managed to resist the corruption during the journey. Tolkien propping up the common man stepping up in horrible situations. Thank you, Micro.
Yeah, except that's not true because he gets there and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll keep it. It's all good. All those people who died for me to get here, fuck them."
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, he failed. He failed ultimately. That was
right. Yeah, that's what thank you.
But you know, luckily,
so Smeagol is
Sam
the
was
hero
there
of the
to
story.
help him. Well, that was, I guess that's just sort of like the nature of things. All right, I'm not saying that's my favorite part of the whole thing. But you know, I don't think it's as bad as Camel's making out.
No,
I'll say it. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have that as my ending. You're right, Camel. I wouldn't. But
no, well, you know what you could do? You could have 25 endings instead and never finish the movie. Just keep it going.
There were more in the book. There were more endings in the book.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So yeah, they actually cut down on the endings.
Show me that ending, Mike.
I don't think he knows what an ending is. You don't have an arc of endings.
Scene.
Yeah, show me that. What's up, Patrick?
This is it here. Ready? This is what Camel's talking about.
Let the Lord of the Black Land come forth. Let justice be done upon him.
There you go. That's me, the ultimate gatekeeper.
Like lopped off, just like that.
Bye, Mike.
Oi! All right, I'm not going to show you the action. I'll show you the I'll show you the guy. What is he? The voice of Sauron. He's pretty nasty looking. Okay, where is he?
Camel, what did you think about the chick killing? What's the dude, Mike? What's he called? The king of the Nazgul, the leader of the Nazgul. What was he called?
The Witch King of Angmar.
What did you think of that?
Oh, the guy who looks like Death, who rode a dragon.
Yeah. And
he was cool. I liked him. I looked to see if they made like a Lego of him. They don't.
Oh, that's cool.
What do you think of him, Rob?
Yeah, that's sick.
They make a Lego of that guy.
I thought he was
like
good.
$70.
I think the only issue with this guy was it sort of slowed the movie down at a time when it really needed to be coming to an end.
There's a lot of other things they could have got rid of that I would have been.
Yeah.
That was such a cool
that
scene.
extended cut is brutal. It's like it's like reading most of a book, but not all of it. Like either make a movie or translate a book into a movie. Don't do both. I much prefer the theatrical.
Well, the extended cut's 4.5 hours too. I mean, it's
like 12 hours of viewing all up.
But Rob, the witch doctor, the guy who runs the dragon, that guy,
the dragon farm.
What?
He runs the dragon farm.
Yeah. So he gets killed by the princess of Dumpleland or whatever the fuck, and but that's right out of Macbeth, because like in Macbeth they say that you're going to be killed by a man who was not born of this world or born of a woman, and it turns out he's like, oh, so no one can kill me. And then he finds out that the person who does kill him was born from someone who had like a C-section. So it was like kind of a twist of words. So that's I just saw that as Tolkien pulling from Shakespeare.
I
love how
Pedro is correcting Camel with Eowyn, or however you pronounce it, and Camel's given us words like Dumpleland.
I can't remember, all the made up words, like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what do you think of that scene, Rob?
Oh, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I mean, it's pretty lame, no? Do you think
Why?
it's lame?
Why is it
It's
lame?
still, I'm not a man, I'm a chick or whatever, and then kills him. I'm like, this is crap.
I remember
But
thinking,
you know how she killed him, yeah? She had, like, her sword was imbued with a magic.
Mm.
I remember thinking that felt purposeful, like they added it in for woke points way back in the day. Like, look how, on the ball we are. But then I found out that that's actually in the book. So
No, it's in the book. It's just a like, you got to like, here's the thing. We're all attuned to woke, yeah? So we know what they like, what they get into. But that doesn't mean we should just, like, anytime, oh, there's a black character or a gay character or a female character. It's not like, oh, that's automatically going to be woke. Like, these things were normal. Like, that was a twist back in the day. The original Slay Queen, says Pedro. I
was
just
fine
become
with it.
cynical. I thought it was another great scene. It was actually,
I liked it.
Pretty close to how it happened in the book, if you read it.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I'm trying to think what else was. It was really just the second movie that I had issues with. It felt directionless. It felt like there wasn't really a purpose. It was just everyone gets disbanded, and they're all trying to, like, get back together. It actually had a lot of, like, Empire Strikes Back kind of feel to it, which I guess is typical in a lot of trilogies. But
what did you think of the pillow fight scene? Mo isn't here, which is upsetting. But he promised you the pillow fight scene.
I kept waiting. I was like, maybe it's with this king that keeps eating the grapes, because he lives in the lap of luxury.
Yeah.
What was his? That was the angry king or something.
He was the steward of Gondor.
How did he get that job?
Inherited.
How do you inherit stewardship? Why wouldn't you become the king?
This is how they do it, I suppose. I think it goes all the way back to the end of the bloodline. The kings of Gondor, I think, the original, they went off to become rangers. I think they were rangers for generations as well. Going back, there's a whole thing about it. I think that's the end of the third age. There's a whole ages, and these ages are like, I don't know, someone will correct me, like 3,000 or 6,000 years each or something like that. There's a lot of history there.
Oh, okay. Here's another thing, right? So at the end, they all get on a boat. Where the fuck are they going?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like
the Undying Lands.
What is that? What is that?
Well, look, here's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a movie, yeah. So then I can't go into everything, but essentially,
you can go into the ending of your 12.5-hour trilogy and tell me what the fuck. They all get on a boat and just sail into
the what are they called? The Valinor, or the whatever they are. The sort of beings a bit like Gandalf and above. They and the original elves all live on this continent that's to the west. And the reason why, if you watch Rings of Power, that city, what was it called? I can't remember. Anyway, they tried to go sail to it, and the god of everything, Iluvatar, sunk that into the ocean and said, from now on, that you cannot, literally, you can't, it doesn't matter how far west you sail, you'll never reach the Undying lands. So only when you get granted passage, I don't know how it works, but then you can sail over there. And only, who is it? Bilbo?
Camel is killing the chat.
RCS says they went to Florida.
I think Bilbo, Frodo, and Gimli, and I think Sam actually eventually ends up going there in the end because he was a ring bearer. That's where they're going. And then sort of technically what happened to Middle Earth is it became England eventually. Like that's the idea of it.
Okay, so all of the elves leave, right? They all die or whatever. And the orcs are gone. Like, so all of the magic shit leaves. The goblins.
All the magic because that's what they say at the ending. Now begins the age of man.
So is that why British people are so ugly? Because they had sex with hobbits?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
All right,
Mike. What did you think of the scene where the Urukai is going to blow up the wall in the two?
He runs in.
He runs in. He's like a kamikaze
and like,
guy.
Shoot him!
Yeah, and Legolas shoots him and doesn't kill him for like the first time during the whole series. What
he had a bit of plot armor, you reckon?
Just a tad. Yeah. What do you think?
I think the battle for Helm's Deep is pretty epic. That's just a small part of it. Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting because it's like they didn't know what the hell that was, so they weren't even expecting. They didn't even really prepare a defense for it.
Oh, okay. I have another question. Right. So in the third movie, they're at Castle Mixelplix or whatever it's called, and the guy engulfs in flames, and he's at the back behind the castle. And then the next shot, he's like in front, right on the diving board, right going into the. Oh, like how did he make it like a mile?
The great diving board of Gondor. Yeah,
yeah.
He does run a long way and he's covered in fuel too.
Yeah, I was like, he would have been just.
Yeah, he would have been. He wouldn't have made it. Yeah, that's true. A little bit of movie magic there. I do like that fall though. That shot, the scale of him falling.
Oh no, it was cool. I get why they did it. I don't know if that'd be in the books, but it was like, you know, cinematically, I thought it was nice.
I don't know how like accurate to the book that was, that him actually being on fire and running, but maybe someone in the chat will.
What did you think?
It's a fantasy. Like there's things that, you know.
Yeah, no, that was okay. I mean, it didn't make any sense. I caught it right away, but I was like, well, all right.
What did you think of the scene where the king and all the riders ride out of the castle and down the ramp and knock all the orcs off? Did you like that?
I don't remember that. That was like every other movie.
That's at Helm's Deep. That's at Helm's Deep. They're like, let's ride out and face them one last time for a glorious death, sort of thing.
Yeah, that was
I don't
fine.
know. Maybe that happens in battle. I'm not gonna. You know, you go like, well, are you gonna stay here and just get, you know,
walloped? Yeah,
walloped eventually, or ride out and, you know, die a warrior's death. Like that was like they were done at that point. They had no hope of getting out of there.
I don't know if I have any other questions really. Oh, you know what I did notice? I thought that when Gandor, Magneto. Okay. So
Magneto the White, yeah.
Magneto, yeah. So but when he's Magneto the Gray, he seems like cooler and more personable. And then when he becomes white, it's like he's kind of a dickhead. And he seems to have no tolerance for anyone. It's like his attitude shifted. Am I the only one who got that? Or
Gandalf is a ancient being, and he's not a human. He's created by the Valinor, I think, or I don't know, I can't remember. There's so many weird names. So when he died, he actually died. He's dead. Like when he died at the top of the mountain, he was brought back by Amaya. Thank you, Pedro. He was brought back from the dead, and so he was definitely changed. So he had the memories. He didn't have the memories at the beginning. He had to remember them. That took a little bit longer in the book, if I recall. in the movie, he's just like, oh yes, I was called Gandalf, you know.
Yeah, I think I liked Gandalf more. I think Gandalf the White was kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, Gandalf the Grey was Gandalf the Grey for 300 Lives of Men. I mean,
yeah, he's like understanding. I mean,
he was more like
yells
an old...
at Pippi, but other than that, he seemed like a nice.
I'm writing all these down, by the way.
Gandalf the White was much more. I mean, he's taken on a leadership role now. He's, you know,
Yeah.
He's like, he is top dog. The only person his equal at that point on Middle Earth is Sauron. Like, he's above Saruman. He's above everyone. It's just him and Sauron. He's above Galadriel. Yeah.
Count Dooku. Did he die? Was he Dooku the Gray and became Dooku the White, or no?
No, he came down. I think, I don't know. I don't know how well it's explained in the book, but he was referred to as the leader of their order, and so he was the White. He was the leader, which I guess that, I mean, he seemed more powerful. He was able to whip Gandalf the Grey's ass. So yeah, he assumed his power level.
Okay.
So he was, yeah. Well, he was demoted. I mean, he was just stripped of his. He was probably stripped of his
wizard stripes.
He was probably no longer a wizard. He probably became a man, and that's why they were able to kill him.
Well, yeah, because I thought of that.
But that didn't happen in the book. In the book, I think the hobbits did him in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because in this, it's very like he like falls on a giant, like a pike. And I was like, oh, it's a little much. And Grey Worm was the one who killed him. You know, he like stabs him.
Yeah.
In the back.
Did you like the trees?
No, that was dumb. I didn't like that at all, actually. I was just like, I mean, it was like, I get it. Like, oh, the trees are helping because Mother Nature and whatever. But, you know, then they stop, right? They don't help. There's a lot of other battles going on. Like, we could use all your forest people to help take out the, you know, thousands of orcs outside of Mixelplix Palace, but they don't show up. So I don't.
I'm just immune now to your slanders. Yeah, look, the Ents were not.
I didn't make that up.
The Ents were not my favorite part of the story. I like the idea of them. They're like some of the oldest. I think they're actually older than Gandalf, in terms of raw age. But yeah, that like they try to portray in the show how slow they talk. In the book, it's like forever. I mean, it feels like an entire book of them just sitting around discussing whether or not they're going to start the next sentence. It literally is like that. And you're just, oh God. But it's sort of that they were frustrated as well. Like the hobbits were frustrated with them as well. But I think overall, like, they're pretty cool things once they get started. But it just takes forever to get them started.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. What did the rings do for? There's like a bunch of rings, right? They had they had like a kids party and everyone got a ring. Mm-hmm. So what did the elf rings do that were so cool?
They they gave the leaders of those groups power. So like there was a fire ring. There was the rings for the elves, the rings for the men, the rings for the dwarves, and they were gifts from Sauron. And I mean, I don't know what they physically did. Pedro says healing, fire, and wind control. Yeah, the one that Gandalf wears is fire control. I remember that. But yeah, they're just rings of power. So
they're just like the Green Lantern Corps of Middle Earth.
Yeah, sort of. But the whole point about them is when you wore them, you were slowly corrupted by Sauron. So the men got corrupted. They ended up becoming the Witch Kings. Oh no, it was a Witch King. What are they? Whatever they were, the Nazgul, and the elves. They figured it out in time. And it was a way. So when he had the One Ring, he'd be able to control all of the people in all of the creatures.
But
in
how?
Middle Earth.
Why?
Because it's one ring to rule them all. Like his will, he would be able to exert his will over them.
How did he get powerful? How did Sauron get powerful?
Sauron is a... Help me, Pedro. Is he a Maya? Yeah, so there's like... Think of it like angels. So you've got God, that's Eru Iluvatar. Then you've got the ones directly under him. They sang the world into being. And then you've got the people that they created, and that's like Sauron, the wizards, all that sort of stuff. So they're immortal, superpowered beings to begin with. So when Morgoth was, and he was like a top angel, he was actually the top angel. He's essentially Satan, Morgoth. When he was imprisoned and destroyed, his lieutenant Sauron ended up, seizing there was like a power vacuum, and he took control.
And why does he look like a douche in Rings of Power? What's that about?
Because they're trying to do the whole sympathetic villain, subvert expectations thing. And they wanted it to be a twist, even though it wasn't really a twist. Snarkon says, because Amazon. Yeah, exactly.
Because Amazon.
Yeah, they want to try the whole Anakin Skywalker thing all over again, even though that was not the case at all. Sauron, as far as I'm aware, no, Philbo, that wasn't Sauron. It's not the M&M people were like devotees of Sauron. That wasn't Sauron. Sauron is the like scruffy, handsome, I just want to life. I think he actually did in Amazon. I think he just wants to go and be a blacksmith in Numenor. I think that's what he literally wants. But he kept getting dragged into it by Galadriel, who was the real villain of that series. And but in the books, Sauron is a malevolent being who is very Machiavellian. He was scheming from the beginning to take over the whole thing. So
yeah, I got that. I started watching the Hobbit prequels, and there's a scene with Saruman, whatever. And yeah, you kind of get the impression that he's, because he's like, oh, we don't need to worry about that, or let's just leave it alone. And Gandalf is like, no, we gotta help the dwarves get back in the dwarf mountain so they can get their gold back.
I couldn't stand The Hobbit. I couldn't watch it. My friend and I, you can probably tell, like I was a bit of a fan back in the day. I can't remember all the details, but I remember some of them. And so we went to go see The Hobbit, and we were really excited about it because this was going off of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I remember I got initially I thought it's a little weird. Like it's a whole different tone.
Well, it's really like the tone is different. It's very fantastical. And it doesn't take itself as seriously. And there's the goblins are like blowing loogies and eating them. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Was not it. It was like for kids at points.
And like they kind of cut out the singing. The singing is a big part of the books, but I actually prefer that they got rid of them for the movies. I didn't even really read the songs. Like some of them are really long in the books, and they put them back in the books. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we have to because we're trying to stretch one kid's book into 3 movies here, and but it didn't work. And then the barrel ride, and I'm like, is this Disneyland? What is this? They're bouncing like all. I was like, this cannot be happening. And then it ends, and it's an even more shocking ending than the end of the Fellowship of the Ring was the first time round, because I was just so I was like, this. I need more. This was just like they just ended it. The movie was going along, and then it just ended.
Well, it reminded me. It felt like they were doing the same as the Fellowship. If Loki felt like they were trying to just remake Lord of the Rings 10 years later, because it hit all the same notes and the same beats. It was like, we'll spend 20 minutes in the Shire, and we're gonna pull this hobbit out and go on an adventure, and then we're gonna, here's the big sweeping mountain shot, and we're gonna go into the cave, and it's like, I just saw all this. It was just the same thing. I don't know the Hobbit story at all, but it felt very similar. I don't know if that was purposeful or what.
It's not. There's not much to the Hobbit. It's a kid's story. All of the lore was not fleshed out at that point, so they really did try and turn it into something that it probably wasn't ever. And
it felt like there were a lot of cooks involved. Like the studio was like, all right, we need this to be for babies, and so anyway, we went back and we watched the second one, and that was even worse than the first one. So I still to this day have not seen the last. I just started the second one. I'll finish that one tonight. I'll let you guys know next week. I'll probably finish all 3 by then.
Oh, and then watch Rings of... We need you to watch Rings of Power, Camel. We need...
Oh, Camel.
Oh, we have to hear it.
Okay.
Yes.
As someone who... Oh, my God.
This is going to be incredible.
A lark. It's an absolute lark. And again, I said this, and I copped a bit of flack from this. I did not hate it. But that's probably because I don't care. Like... It doesn't I don't care anymore, so I'm a bit.
Nolan Lockhart says Lord of the Rings is good, but it's no one Crucibles. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel.
It's no
Platoon.
There were some real cringy moments in it, though, Mike. Like that when she ran up the sword and he flicked her over at the troll. He's like
everything.
Wait, don't tell me anything about it. I'll watch it when I watch it.
Every critique that you see out there by Critical Drinker and all those guys is 100% accurate. But I just I'm not upset. I don't go, this is like whatever. We know this is going to happen. I just sort of I'm just going to sit down and watch a fantasy thing. I know I think that's why I couldn't watch Obi-Wan.
Oh, it's terrible.
Obi-Wan. I came into Lord of the Rings late. So when the movies came out, that was the first I ever saw anything of it. So I was already 20 by then. So even though I loved it and I read the books and got into it, it's not like it's part of my childhood or anything. Star Wars to me was my life since I was at Empire Strikes Back as a baby. All my old photos of me, I'm wearing Star Wars stuff. And it's actually don't want to see Obi-Wan brought low like that. That would upset me. So I skipped out on that. And I'm not, I didn't watch Boba Fett. I don't know if I'll watch Mandalorian.
If you watch the next season of Mandalorian, watch I think it's the last 2 episodes of Boba Fett, because they really have nothing to do with Boba Fett. They're just straight Mandalorian. Okay. One episode, Boba Fett's not even in it. It's just straight Mandalorian, and it sets up what's going to happen in the 3rd season.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah,
if I watch it. I know Mel will probably want to watch it. What's that?
Star Wars has got to be the most disappointing franchise there is.
Well, it's dead. I mean, the disappointment is they killed it. Carol, did you hear the
naturally?
They're closing the galactic.
Causes.
Yeah, they're closing the galactic theme park thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. The Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, I think they're closing it.
Wow, that was up for 3 years.
I watched a little bit of a video on it, but I didn't really see the whole thing. I was just like, oh, it's done. It's not working.
What are they going to do with all that shit?
how's it on the books? Take a tax
Turn it
write-off?
to
I don't know.
Aladdin land. Future Aladdin. Space Aladdin.
I'm
Chokeout
much
says that they still have episodes 1 to 6.
exactly. Yeah, that's
Do you like
right.
do you like the first 3 though?
They're fine.
They're all right. What like
Jar Jar
yeah, to
Binks,
me I'm
man,
more
ruins the entire movie.
yeah. But there's still some good moments in there. And it's at least it's George Lucas's vision, you know? So even if it's not the same as the original, at least it was his. That's his fault if you don't like it. It's not because some corporation bought it for $4 billion and murdered it for money. I've read probably 30 extended universe Star Wars books. Love nearly all of them. Got into that big time as well. So there's still plenty of there's old games. There's still plenty of Star Wars you can enjoy without having to. It's like comics now, like you don't read the new Spider-Man. He's friggin' fighting mosques or whatever.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
It's happening.
Oh my god.
Did they do that with Lord of the Rings? Like, are there Lord of the Rings comics and books out there that are not Tolkien books?
No, because there might be now, because there was an estate for the longest time. It was run by his son. He was safeguarding it, Christopher Tolkien, but he died. So wow. I think that's why. And it's interesting. The actual copyright issue with Lord of the Rings is a bit weird. Amazon bought the rights to the name Lord of the Rings, but they don't get the rights to any of the stories, the books or anything. So that's why they have to write their own thing. And that's what they're doing now. Now, obviously, they're using the same characters and everything, but it's their own stories based on the Lord of the Rings.
That sounds
and
terrible.
That's maybe why it's the way it is. I don't know. But
okay. Well, another trilogy down. I'll watch it again in 10 years. I liked it. I thought that the Fellowship was good. I thought it was probably amazing, actually, but everything else was it was okay. I thought Two Towers was pretty good, but I thought Return of the King was better. But I think that that Hobbit movie was not the best, and we'll see what the next two do.
I look at them as one movie. Like, I would never watch Fellowship of the Ring without watching Two Towers right after.
Well, I mean that's
not
fine, but I have to split it up. I don't have 12 hours to sit and watch, so.
Well, it's just like, I don't really do that with I don't do that with, Back to the Future, or even though they do follow the same, they're like one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a better trilogy than the Lord of the Rings?
No. Unless, you can say Star Wars, and that's fine. If you love Star Wars that much, but I just think as movies, in terms of nailing it, the whole way through, for me, it's Lord of the Rings. But Star Wars, like, if people want to say like that's the holy trilogy, I wouldn't argue with them. Nolan says, "What about the Twilight Saga?"
My wife was
Hunger
watching
Games
that with her sister last week, and I was like, I'm not watching this. This is terrible.
Twilight.
Yeah.
I maintain that the first Twilight had character.
Oh,
my sister loved Twilight back in the day, right? And she was like going crazy about it. Like, the people actually made Twilight. They made it for nothing, and they actually cared. And then what happened is it became a worldwide phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And they Hollywooded it all, and it became the most ridiculous, cringy thing. Even though the first movie, like, if you watch that first movie, it's actually B grade. Like, it is not It's barely Hollywood.
Oh yeah, well that I had she wanted to watch it. This is like when we first got together. She was like, "Oh, we should watch these." I was like, "All right, fine." So we watched the first one, and I remember being like, "It's not good, but I'll watch the second one. It's fine." So we start the second one, and we're like 15 minutes in, and it doesn't make any sense. And my wife was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. This is the third one." I was like, "All right, I'm out. I'm not fucking like." She got the order mixed up, and I was like, "I'm not. You've completely lost me. I'm not wasting my time with this now."
Hunger Games. I read all the books. The first book was amazing. It was a really clever, like analogy of modern society, where you have these rich people who live in the capital, who all they care about is fashion and whatever, and the goings ons of the poors is just. It's very much like Camel in his ivory tower. The goings on of the poors is very much just a, you know,
that's nice.
Whatever. If they live or die, doesn't matter.
For Frodo,
And
that's nice. Whatever. I don't...
It's a perfect analogy to, you know, like people caring about what celebrity is wearing what, while kids are at the very same time dying in lithium mines so they can get, you know, things for their phones and stuff. Yeah. It was really clever, and that's exactly why she wrote it. And then again, in the same way, it became a worldwide hit. And I think the publishing company is just like, you need to get a book out a year. So they progressively became less and less about that and just more about a adventure romp, young adult thing. And the movies are exactly the same.
I thought the last movie was terrible.
Unwatchable.
It's also weird too, because if you notice, I think that was like right after the fappening, and so like Jennifer Lawrence's demeanor is totally like she's shifted, and she seemed very disinterested, and it was almost like she just didn't want to be there. And I just got this real sense that like she just was phoning it in the whole time. But also the movie itself, it was one of these things where, you know, they split it into two and it didn't need to be split into two. And it was just it just went on and on and on.
The source material was rubbish. So
yeah,
like it was never gonna.
The fappening was an interesting time.
It was Rob's best time of his life.
Rob didn't make it out of his room. A month.
Time to be alive.
Is it just me, or is it like, does it seem to you guys as well, like since COVID, celebrity worship has dropped off a lot?
Oh yeah, and they just had some awards show. What was the Grammys or the Emmys or something? And just fucking nobody watched it. No one cares about the Oscars. I think it's good. I think it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of scumbags. You're telling me how to live my life. Especially,
because they are actually, a lot of them are scumbags.
Yeah.
Like proper scumbags who either stayed silent when they knew bad shit was going, like, and I'm saying bad shit, I mean like real bad shit. Or, It's
almost gotten to the point too where I feel like celebrities used to be lauded for when they would say something, and now it's like they're keeping it low. Like they don't want to stick their neck out and say anything except for being on a press junk and talking about their movie, because they know that they're going to get, you know, just trounced on.
Isn't it? You know, here's something funny. I always thought what happened with Tom Cruise was a bit cruel and weird and calculated. Like he got a divorce, you know, after he was married for about 15 years or something. He got a divorce and fell in love with this, you know, hot young actress, and he went a bit loopy. It's like, all right, you know, I like him jumping on the couch. I was like, yeah, the dude's in love with some hot young chick and he's acting the fool and he's Tom Cruise. So who cares, right? All the Scientology stuff aside, I thought the whole like, they almost like, we got to cancel him. And he is now, it's funny, you know, 15 years later, whatever it is, he is the really the only one left. Maybe Stallone, but the only one left who is just a mega star. And the stuff that he's doing on social media is what movie stars should be doing. But he's the only one doing it.
Yeah.
Well, he's in a fuck you position, isn't he now? Like his movies.
Oh yeah,
like
because he
Mission
produces all of
Impossible
his stuff. Yeah, so
are like just killing
loaded.
it. So he can do whatever he wants. He got a super.
He did have that. He did have that moment where he flipped out on set because the guy wasn't wearing a mask, though. I mean,
there's interviews of him where he's really bizarre. Like, I'm not saying he's a normal guy. He seems really intense and unusual. But maybe, I mean, a lot of people who make it to the top are exactly that. People like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. You know, they're unusual people. So that's what you get with them. Snarkticon sent a bogan chat. How dare you slander the first female action hero, Camel? That was Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
Oh, I always forget that. Yeah, she paved the way for Sigourney Weaver. That was so nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
The generations of future.
And Pam Grier. Let's not forget about Pam Grier.
Yeah. Travis Parrick for 5. Screw that. It's all about watching Murder, She Wrote, Matlock, and Golden Girls with your grandparents. That's all good stuff. That stuff holds
I used to
up.
watch Golden Girls with my grandparents.
No, I don't need a loading to the member chats, John. But I try not to like just jump in the conversation unless it's. Yeah, that's the funny thing about these streaming services. Like Victoria watches Modern Family. Or Malcolm in the Middle, or what else? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, they're her shows. She's not watching. I don't even know what they make these days. I wouldn't let her watch them. You know, because you can do that on streaming services.
She's not watching Thelma.
No, she's not watching Thelma. No,
wow.
She's not watching Willow. She's not watching. I don't know. Whatever.
I saw somewhere earlier someone had asked if I liked fantasy. I don't remember who asked, but I'll answer. I didn't used to. When I was younger, I was just like, no, I'm more of a sci-fi kind of guy. So, when I got more into Star Wars and then I started to see like real commonality and tropes between fantasy and Star Wars. I was like, okay, so there's really just a horse apiece, right? They're kind of the same. You just changing the wrapper. But lately, I've gotten much more into it. And I kind of, I don't know, I think through video games because I would play like Diablo or something, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I get a magic sword. That's kind of cool, And then, and then it actually kind of worked its way into the Hail Salad comic, and I was like, oh yeah, Ethos has magic boots, and there's like a big whale thing, and I was like, it's cool to make your own world. And so that's why I got real interested in the Lord of the Rings. I was like, well, this is the grandfather of all of that. So as I started writing, I'm almost done with it, the second and third issue of Hail Salad. Like, it's going to be a trilogy, and I just want to make sure that it's lining up the way that I think it should. So I was like, let me check out these Lord of the Ring movies, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I think Tolkien knew what he was doing. I think, I don't think it was a fluke.
Which was your favorite character? Mixelplix, Gandor, Pippi, or Count Dooku?
Well, Mixelplix is the castle. You're not going to trick me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
What's Dumpleland then?
I don't know, man. It's all made up words. Don't make fun of me for made up words. Made up words are made up words.
Oh shit.
Pippi was okay. He was kind of annoying. I liked Mary. Mary was all right. Mary kind of had some balls on him.
Well, okay, so you're talking about movie versions. So you would be well aware of the trope that goes all the way back to Shakespeare and beyond of the comedy pair that turns up in so many stories and stuff.
Like
so that's
R2
them.
and C-3PO or
Exactly. So they're not quite as they are the characters, not to the same extent. as the movies. They kind of hand it
Reading
up.
some
El Pippi.
El Pippi Maxima. What? No, what's his name? It's not. Isn't it Pippi?
Pippin.
Pimpy? Whatever.
Pippin.
That's not.
Pippin is his nickname. His name is Peregrine Took. And
Did you
Oh,
like?
I didn't forget that one.
Did you like the clip I played for you the other day, Mike, with Sam in it?
No, I didn't really find that funny when it first came out, and it got
it
a billion
was-
views, and everyone saw it like 10 years
hilarious.
ago. I mean, whatever. It's not bad, but yeah, I love fantasy as well. I don't think it's either sci-fi or fantasy for me. I'm into both. Probably my favorite books were sci-fi. If I think back on what I enjoyed the most, but definitely those worlds, you can get lost in them.
Nolan Lockhart says, rewatch the Conan movies and destroy them for me. No, so I've seen them recently. The first one is great. I really like the first one. The second one is like, it's like very like, the tone is different. Like it's kind of for kids. And I like it, but it's not the same. Like I like it definitely has like that D&D feel. Like we have a dwarf and a black lady, and there's a bunch of the ragtag group that has to go look for a magic crystal or some bullshit. I like that, but we don't see that again. Like I haven't seen a movie like that since then.
D&D feel is black ladies and dwarves, everybody.
Well, I don't remember what's her name. She was in the Bond movie.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is.
Tall chick.
Yeah. She did a
80s.
song. She did a song.
Mel would know that. Mel would know who she is.
Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Grace Jones. Thank you.
She did like 4 movies ever,
I don't think I've ever seen Conan. Like, I'm sure I have. I definitely haven't seen all of them.
She's only in the second Conan, though, right? She's not
I
in the
remember
first.
them there, but it's not something that I really, remember knowing very much. So I could definitely go and watch them. I think, to like see if, I remember this,
I remember in the Conan, the second one, the princess, when I was like 13, thinking she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my entire life. I was like, holy cow, I didn't know they made girls that hot.
Can you bring her up, Rob?
Red Sonja is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yes, I can.
Philbo Baggins says she was. Yeah, I don't remember now, but I just remember at the time, just like my brain was melting out of my head. Like I was like, what the Camel, what is best in life? What, eating your enemies and letting them die in a pit before you, or whatever? I don't know. It's something like that.
This chick?
Is it eating your enemies?
Beating your enemies?
Something. It's not eating your enemies.
I mean, maybe that's her now, but
yeah, can we see her in the thing? I don't want to see her
in Conan.
Yeah, there's a picture of her right there.
No one says close enough. Yeah, thanks. It's fine.
I know her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if
I think I'm just not.
I
think I just don't really remember Conan. That's the issue.
Yeah.
No, that's the first one.
Snarkgod says it's beating off your enemies.
Beating off your enemies. Yeah. And sticking around for more, I think, is the phrase.
She was in the Wonder Years. Is that her? That's where I know her from. Is that really her?
Oh, here's one.
Yes, that's what I know her from. That's funny. She was the sister. She was Fred's sister. I can't remember his name in the thing.
She was?
Oh,
she was.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Kevin Arnold?
Savage's. What is his name? What was his
Fred
name?
Savage.
Is that his name? I can't even remember friggin'.
And then we
Christopher
started,
Reeve's name.
you know, we watched the new one with David Momoa, or what's his name, Jason Momoa, right? And that was terrible. We got like half into it. It's like really grotesque, and it's just like, you know, there's like blood and guts everywhere, like bashing people's heads on the sidewalk, and I was like, oh, this is too much.
Jason Momoa needs a beard. He looks so weird without a beard. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Can
Need to know that.
Can I say something? And I want to hear what you guys think of it. Do you think there's too much swearing now in stories? And does it put you off?
I'd have to know what story and what movie.
All right, let me share something. I found this really off-putting and cringe. I think the whole setting is cringe, but I just found the swearing especially was unnecessarily cringy. So I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this is from the new Harry Potter game that's coming out, but it might not be. So.
Oh, it's not. I saw that. I don't think it's from the Harry Potter game, but I've seen it. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, whatever it's from. Like, I noticed this, and I think it's a leftist thing to do, is to make everyone swear a lot. I feel like it's because they're trying to rebel against their parents. They never came out of that.
I remember years ago seeing tons of articles that would pop up, and it would be like, if you swear a lot, you probably have a really high IQ, or it's like, you know, why would you say that? I think they're always trying to find a way, because I remember growing up just being like, if you swear all the time, you're lazy because you have a really bad vocabulary and you don't really know how to articulate what you're saying. And so
story checks out.
It is? Is it actually from Harry Potter?
No, your story checks out.
Oh, thank you.
I remember my first draft of the Lucent. I went back and read it. I was like, God, there's so much swearing there. It was really cringy. Like they're saying fuck and shit everywhere. And it's like, I just got rid of all of it. I was like, I mean, if you really need to make a point, and that's what the character would say, sure. But check this out. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's Joss Whedon.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic, talk to sentient cuffs, kill jacked up beasts. You know what? I'll probably fly next.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Oh, that's too far. Good to know there's a line.
If you could just master these new abilities, with my help, of course.
Did you not just see me take out that gnarly beast? Oh, bring it, you mangled monsters.
Evil squirrels.
Yeah, that's definitely not Harry Potter. There's nothing in there that's referencing Harry Potter. But D, the legendary D, has just gifted me 5 memberships. Where's my thing? Hold on a sec.
D has been curiously absent from my streams, but all hail anyway.
He's been here every time.
Yeah. Oh.
D.
Well, cheers, biggies.
Yeah, and either way, like that was super cringy, Joss Whedon-ish kind of crap. But just like saying shit again and again and again there just made it somehow cringier. And
I want to know what it's from, though. Does anyone in the chat know?
Oh yeah, people they're saying it's Forspoken. It's an old,
I don't know what that is
or something.
Even so, it's still like, but why? Well, why? Why? You know, like, ugh. It's unnecessary.
It makes me go like that.
Yeah,
there's a certain that kind of character just needs to go away.
But teenagers swear all the time, though, to be fair, because they think they sound cool.
Yes, but that I don't think you should put how people talk into your narratives. I'm not down with that. Like, people, there's a certain way to write when you write. I don't think you should just model real life. I think there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in a narrative that doesn't exist in real life. Dialogue is part of that, and it does come across as cringy. Like, we figured this shit out over 6,000 years since the very first story, which was
Lord of the Rings.
No, Rob,
Oh,
you know what
the
it
Bible.
is. Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah, that's
No.
it.
Of course it is. Very first story. We figured this stuff out. We don't need to like rewrite everything just because we're edgy, people, or whatever. Yeah, Nolan, exactly. The first time she said it, you can understand. Okay, it's a pretty shocking moment. You're moving stuff with your mind. To say it again and again, it's like, did you not have parents?
It just comes off like bad writing. It comes off like it's trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
Does anyone in the world say freaking? Like, seriously, like freaking.
Like solar freaking roadways?
That's just a toned down version of fucking, right? So why is she censoring herself for that?
I thought that too. Like, so you just dropped 3 S bombs, but the F is bridge too far. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I noticed. It's funny. We all notice the same thing. It's like either commit to the bit or just have her be normal.
Yeah, like it actually would have been better if she's like, "Holy fucking shitballs! I just made magic shit fly out of my fucking fingers." Then you'd be like, "Oh, all right, this is actually
go all the way."
Yeah, but like, to me, like kind of like I don't know, half stepping it. Like, well, this is just lame.
Anyway, it'll be funny. I imagine that game. I mean, I can't imagine it would be, but imagine that Harry Potter game is complete trash, and everyone's been going out there and buying it because of the Streisand effect, and then it's like full.
That's so funny. I thought of that too because everyone is talking about it. Because I wondered about that. I was like, they're trying to attach this political aspect to it of saying like, oh, it's anti-trans or whatever. And I'm thinking like that might almost be a marketing ploy. Like if we can get people to feel like they're going to spite by it, almost like kind of like, what we see in this space in a way. Like,
you want to get a little bit canceled. Like I hope what's her face? Heather Antos comes after me. Because like that's not going to do anything to my life. If Heather Antos and Mark Wade or any of those people come after me on Twitter, it's not going to have any effect on my life. But you better believe I'm going to take that shit, monetize it, and make an extra $20,000 on my campaign off it.
I almost wonder if there's like, now a bunch of marketing guys in a room somewhere. It's like, what if we low key try to cancel ourselves? And then we have people retweeting it, say, like even Cecil retweeted. He's like, I'm going to go buy this now. I mean, he meant it as a joke, but like there might be people who are actively going to go buy that game.
I did a short on it, and I can guarantee you my comment section is like, there's 5 people in there saying I'm buying this game because they don't want me to.
Because I heard reviews of it about a year ago. It kept getting pushed because it was just a disaster. And now it's like, I wouldn't say it's getting like stealth launched, but like it doesn't have the big fanfare around it that it once did. A year ago, Warner Brothers was looking to release that new Gotham Knights game and the Harry Potter at the same time. And they both got pushed. They kept pushing both of them. Turns out both of them might be actually terrible. And that's actually the real reason.
Well, it'll be interesting because it's not like Harry Potter is not open to wokeness. It definitely is. She spent the better part of the last 10 years retroactively trying to get it to align with whatever the new standards of the day are. So I am a big Harry Potter fan. I've said that plenty of times. I've read the book 3 times. The idea that Gandalf Dumbledore is gay is alluded to, but it's never.
Well, it doesn't need to be explored. Does that change anything?
It does.
Does the story matter that he was into a dude at
one point? And
like,
I didn't even remember if I even thought about it at the time. But if I had have, it wouldn't have mattered. Like, oh, there's a gay character. All right, whatever. Like, it wasn't a thing back then. But to like make this big fuss out of it, and then they like, oh, Hermione could be black. It's not like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is ridiculous. And then now they're like going into all sorts of strange parts. So it could be hot trash. Well, sort of. Angela. I've been doing about one stroke every 5 minutes, but
we've got 105 people in here, Mike, too.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching my coloring stream. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please like it and share it out if you want to. We're also live on Rumble at the same time. Rob, 8 people watching.
Holy moly.
So take that. Yeah.
Why didn't you like Barbarian?
What's that?
Why didn't you like Barbarian?
Oh, no. You gotta tune into my show. I'll explain it all. You're not getting a freebie, Rob.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Rob.
Just give me a taste. Give me a little taste. This is your.
He gave us a little taste.
Advertising
It sounded
spot.
spicy.
We've
got 100 people in here now. Tell it. What are you doing? What are you doing, Camel?
Nothing. I'm just hanging out with you.
No, I mean with the show, your new show.
I have no idea. We'll do
you
it.
said you're going to do a show where you're going to yell about.
Oh, that show. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Camel Nights.
No.
Yeah. I'm just going to do a new show, and it's going to be called "Fuck This Shit." And I'm just going to find the latest thing I've watched or read or played that's hot garbage, and just talk about that. I'll do it in the morning, when I've had my coffee. So that'll be fun. I'll start that. Maybe
don't have your coffee, then you'll be extra grumpy.
I'll be extra angry. Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow's episode we'll talk about what was it? The movie Barbarian, and maybe I also saw The Last of Us, which could use some work.
You don't care for?
Oh,
you'll have to tune in.
Everyone's really liking it, so I'm interested to hear someone who doesn't. And that'll be fun. I like the sound of that. I like listening to you yell in ways that I never could. Major chokeout. Dumble wasn't a baddie man. I would believe that. Like, I only have what she says to go on. It's not in the book. He has a very good friend, but it's like, well, I've had very good friends too, that we hang out a lot. Didn't mean we, sucked each other's dicks or anything. It's just, I would accept that if you like, there's an argument to be made there, but I guess it's like her story. If she wants to say, oh, he was always gay, I just didn't want to.
Angela asked, what time in the morning? Whenever no one is streaming. I'm not stream competing. I'm never stream competing again. So,
that's gonna work out.
I'll stop the show. Better hope I'm not 20 minutes in and I will end it right then and there. I'll turn this car right around. That's it. I'm sorry.
Camel Nights runs for 5 minutes and then it's done.
Oh, well. I'm sorry, bro.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I like Last of Us. I don't think it's a 9.5 out of 10, though, Bancroft. Which is what it's.
I mean, how can you say that? It's had one episode. I don't.
That's what it could. What's what people
I really liked
it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, people do things because they have review channels or whatever. I mean, you can't know. Like the first, even if the first episode is. Even if the first episode is amazing, I just watched a show called what was that show called we were watching, Rob, with Kick-Ass Girl in it? What is it?
It's P something. Peripheral.
P something. Peripheral. Yeah, that show came out of the gate in a friggin' armored truck, just like bursting through a wall, shooting. It was a great friggin' start, and then the second episode was a little bit rocky. And I was like, that's fine. They're just laying the ground for they're gonna get, and they just drove right off a cliff, and it was just like, oh, I didn't even care at the end of it. So who the hell knows?
Does Barbarian insist upon itself, Camel?
You gotta have that as the opening.
Yes, you could say it does.
Oh shit!
Oh, and I have to do a whole episode talking about the menu.
Yeah, we looked at the menu, and I was like, "Do we do it? Do we do it?" And it was like, "No." We ended up watching everything, whatever,
Always
all at once.
Yeah. Whatever it is,
which I really like.
That. Yeah,
it's really like it took a little bit to get into, but I think that's just because it's such a strange movie. It doesn't really follow normal conventions. It feels a bit like if Tarantino made a Chinese movie or something. I don't know. It's a lot of fun though. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm always interested in movies that explore, like other dimensions and stuff. That's why I think Doctor Strange 2 is one of the greatest films of our generation.
Which one's 2?
Is that the new one?
The whatever madness or whatever it is.
I never watched it.
So
I think you're being
that was
trying to be funny there.
He goes to another world where they stop at green lights and walk at red lights.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, they really pushed the envelope, huh?
Yeah, it's really different, It's another universe. Food is free. People beat themselves up for 3 weeks straight.
No, he hated the menu.
Oh yeah, I thought that insisted upon itself.
God, I love that clip. I saw a picture of it today. I was like, I gotta use that somewhere. It's so good.
But do you have good taste in movies, Camel? That's the thing. I don't know.
Camel's a very hard taskmaster. Like if something is off, he has no tolerance. I had a friend like that who was other like, oh, that was cool. Because I haven't when a movie ends, I haven't really had time to digest it. And I just kind of go off what I've like. And most of the time I'm entertained. As long as I'm not bored, I'm like, oh, that was cool. Whereas he would just launch instantly into a diatribe of all the reasons why it sucked. I think I was at the Dark Knight or something. And I get up and go, oh, wow. Because that was the first movie after the one with the nipples, wasn't it?
That was Batman movie. Yeah.
Well, whichever one it was.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that was cool, huh? And he was just like, that was fucking shit. Like, okay, man.
Look, here's the thing. I have no problem tearing apart a movie if I find that it is pretentious and it actively tries to pretend that it's smarter than it is. And I find recently in Hollywood, there's a lot of movies like that because, there's a million reasons why they're like that. And I find that movies like Barbarian and The Menu and this Last of Us TV show all fall right into that category.
I don't even know if I know this Barbarian movie. What is it?
It's on Disney, Mike. If you've got Disney.
What is it about?
HBO.
Is it a?
It's about
who's in it? Who's in it?
Nobody. Well, Justin Long's in it for a minute.
Oh, yeah, I probably might know about it.
It's actually about a girl, and she goes to an Airbnb, and things are not what they seem. And then it's just one incredibly stupid fucking decision after another until the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah, they annoy me.
Yeah,
there was one as a movie. I'm not really big into horror movies.
Love horror. Horror's my jam.
I've only ever seen two horror movies at the theaters. The first one was The Ring, and that ruined me. Oh no, I saw Blair Witch, so 3. I saw Blair Witch, The Ring, which ruined me, and then I went to Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel in it. That one, whatever one that was, and that movie, I was like, because in horror movies, it's usually people making stupid mistakes. That's why they die. They actually went for pretty much the whole movie without having anyone do anything dumb. And it wasn't until she ran into a forest and then like a big forest and then just went beelined right to a cottage. I was like, you've got this entire forest to hide in, and you're just going to go to the one thing in that forest that's different that you know that person knows about.
Yeah,
which annoyed me, but yeah. Bancroft went with Jessica Biel. No, she was in it. That's her name, isn't it? That muscular woman.
Yeah.
She's very muscular.
Yeah,
she's one of those people that will, those people that will never get fat till the day they die. And actually, when they get old, their skin will they'll become like Willem Dafoe and sort of suck in on itself.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any fat on their body. I have a friend like that. It's just like, it doesn't matter. He has no fat. It's just, it doesn't exist on him. She's one of those people. She's vascular.
I would imagine that she wouldn't make it to the end in the Family Fat Belong. Like I would discard her quite quick.
You don't like her?
She's tall for one thing.
Is
and
she?
And she's muscular. Like those are no, I don't need either of those.
Women with abs. When did that become a thing?
You like it, don't you,
I don't
Mike?
need it.
No.
I don't need it. I don't want my girl to beat me up,
She's on top of you, Camel, and you're just rubbing your fingers over those lumpy
I'm like,
abs.
oh.
It's like it's like doing it with Arnie.
What a nice formation you have here. You must do a lot of sit-ups. Yeah. No, thank you.
She's like,
Some
I'm
people
on
love
top
it.
now.
There's a chick.
I'm the
she's like
captain.
Korean.
I'm the camel now. Yeah.
I think she's Korean. She's big on social media where she's got these thighs that are just like tree trunks, but they're super muscly. They're all, there's the big bulges on them and stuff. And she's in lingerie and people love it. They eat it up. They're like, I want to put my head in those thighs or something. It's gonna pop it like a watermelon.
Oh yeah.
Oh look, better than
Nolan says,
better
crush
than
my head,
300,
please.
better
I
than
just read
300
that.
kilos. Like you take that over the lard, but yeah, not my thing.
So have you seen any good movies, Camel?
It's been weak. I saw a movie on Friday that was decent called The Black Phone. You heard of this?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. It was okay. I didn't knock my socks off or anything, but I didn't have too much to get angry about it with. It's like a supernatural version of Silence of the Lambs. It was okay. It was okay. I try to watch movies on the weekend with my wife. Well, and I watched all those Lord of the Ring movies, so that's we talk about those. Those were good.
There's a whole era of movies. I should say era. There was a decade of movies that I feel like we missed out on because we had Victoria. It's just like you go from, we're going to concerts and cinema and everything, and then nothing. It's just like it all gets turned off for 4 years or something. So I feel I'm always on the lookout for that. It's like 2012 to 2018, something like that. As I feel like there's movies in there that I haven't seen that I probably should
have. Who was it? Voyager said, "What's the last movie that knocked your socks off?" Mandy. I think Mandy is like one of the best movies I've seen in like 10 years.
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
Yeah, it's really it's
horror, yeah, with Nick Cage.
Well, it's like an action horror, but it's one of these things where it could very easily be classified as being pretentious, but it actually pulls it off because you can tell that there's like a thinking director behind why things are happening, and it doesn't feel like a lot of stuff was decided in the edit to make it edgy. It was like, it actually felt like it was written that way. Yeah, essentially, I don't want to give it away, but like, it takes place sometime in the 80s, and Nick Cage's wife is abducted by a cult, and then it pretty much turns into Man on Fire, and it's just really really well made. I would hands down say, like, especially in the last 10 years, it's probably one of my top.
When did this come out?
3 movies. 2018, maybe. I actually saw it in the theater. I was lucky enough because, it was one of these art house films, and I was living in Austin at the time, so we were able to check it out. They had one of these limited screenings, and I got the DVD as soon as it came out. But it's been a while. I mean, it's been a while since I saw a movie.
Camel.
Yeah,
this one's for you. The last movie I really enjoyed was Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think it's a worthy successor for the franchise. What do you think of that, Camel?
I think that I like Snarky too much to say anything. Like, okay, bro.
I think he knows that you despise that movie. I get into. I'll tell you what I love. Like, I get into
Arcane.
I do, yes. We don't need to go through that again. No, like, I like kids movies, like Kung Fu Panda, stuff like that. God. Like, I love that stuff. I've watched Kung Fu Panda maybe 5 times, the whole 3.
Yeah, I like the first one. Yeah, I didn't see the other 2, but the first one was fun.
Oh, the other 2 are amazing. Each one is different. It's a whole new story. It's a whole new kind of story. It's got a whole new moral. They nailed those movies. There's other ones as well. Megamind. I love Megamind. I saw that. All that stuff. Like, I think they're really good.
Encanto.
Like, some of the best storytelling that's happening in cinema is happening in these, kids' animations.
I believe it. I would love to turn Hail Salad into a Pixar movie, like, for kids, not like the Adult Swim version, like an actual fun, where everyone's kind of bloated looking and like really smooth and running around. And I think that'd be really fun.
Catch you later, Eric.
See you, Eric.
Bye, Eric.
Stop watching cartoons. God, no. I am like, when Arcane 2, the season 2 comes out, it's going to be, oh man, I don't even know what's going to happen. I've never been this into a show before, ever. So,
will they destroy it though, Mike? Like they did
The Witcher? They do, I swear to God. Like, if you watch the documentary on how they made it, I can't imagine that they could.
See, Hyper Wizard.
You all know why Becca really likes Megamind. Yeah, I really sympathize with them. What did you guys think of New Puss in Boots? It says Oren. I didn't go to the movies anymore. So the next time I will go to the movies is to see again Mario. Like, I'm genuinely excited about Mario.
I'm excited for that too. That looks good. There's a lot of movies coming out this year that I'm like, oh, that, you know what? I'll probably see all of these. I'm actually excited for Ant-Man because they're doing Kang and they're doing MODOK. And those are like big time Marvel villains. So I'll be interested to see how they kind of weave them in. Also, it looks like one of the first Ant-Man movies that'll have some type of, impact on the MCU. So I'd like to see how they, kind of set all that up for the next wave, phase, whatever they call it.
Can we not get a Doom that's like peak Doom? Like, I want a character that's more powerful than Thanos purely because he just was smart and figured it out and like completely
I think they're gonna they're still like in casting, right? Because every month I hear it's gonna be Javier Bardem or Mads Mikkelsen or Keanu Reeves, and it's like, just fucking cast someone already. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, it does matter, but
I feel like Doom is a failed movie character, man. They're never going to be able to make that work.
Yes, they can. No, there's nothing unmakeable about Doom. It just has to be done right. Like, there are other characters that I love that I just don't think translate very well. I think Venom is a bit like that. The Venom movies are okay, but it's just, I don't know. It's just such a comic book type. Here we go. Fantastic Four. I don't think the Fantastic Four translate to cinema. I just think they're too goofy. Whereas Doom is like Magneto times 1,000.
You mean Doctor Doom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to say Doctor Doom because.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm thinking of the game. I'm like,
dude, yeah, I was with you at first, but then I got it. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So I know I don't know.
I'm like, you didn't enjoy Doom with The Rock, Mike? Really?
I didn't even know that was made.
Yeah, man, it's not good.
Oh man. And people ask me like, because I said I like The Rock. Yeah, sorry guys, I you know, and they're like, well, what good movies he been in that isn't Jumanji? And I didn't say at the time Moana. Moana is a fantastic movie, but yeah, all the others are a bit. Well,
I mean, that's animated though, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't think of it.
The Rock is seriously like 1 in 10 films is good.
Nolan Lockhart says Rowan Atkinson is Doctor Doom. Yeah.
But like
everyone
you say,
was thinking of the game. I apologize. I don't know. I always think of him as Doom. I never like Doctor Doom. Always. Anyway.
But you're saying like if they do it right, it'll be good. But what's the chances of them doing it right? You know?
Yeah, especially these days. Oh, hang on. Checkout says I like rock movies. They're usually decent enough Saturday afternoon popcorn movies. Yeah, I saw the one with Jason Statham where they team up. I liked that. That was fun. That was my first ever. It was a spin-off of Fast and the Furious. That was my first ever Fast and Furious movie I ever saw. I thought it was fun. Who was saying it? I was listening to something where they were like, "What are Fast and the Furious movies?" And they said, "Fast and the Furious movies are magic cars." That's what it is. It's like cars are magic. They can fly. They can drive through buildings. They can swing on ropes. They can swing up and like that's what, so as long as you see it like that, then yeah, then they're fun.
I hate what they did with that franchise. I loved Fast and the Furious one. I loved the first one, and they've ruined it.
Oh well. How many are there? There's like 12, isn't there?
Yeah, it's their own universe.
How long are they going to be good? Checkout says you'll never watch one and say at the end that was great. They're like sex with a mediocre looking chick. You've had better, but you still came. It's the only one who could put it like that.
Have you seen Rampage, you guys?
No, I'm not gonna see that
I'm
either.
not even my life.
Camel, please watch Rampage. Oh my god.
I can't. I gotta save my brain cells.
Oh.
Because here's the thing. A movie like that's gonna be trash, I know going in. But like, and it's really easy to tear that shit apart. Because it's just like, it's like going to McDonald's and being like, I can't believe this was $1. It's like, well, of course it's fucking trash. It's like, but when you go to like a nice restaurant, like a Michelin star restaurant, and they serve you McDonald's, that's when I get angry. That's when I'm like, I can't believe you actually thought you could charge me for this.
Does that happen often? You go to a Michelin star restaurant?
Fucking Barbarian and the menu. Oh, you know what else movie was
because
terrible?
You go to the movies, that shit is expensive these days.
Yeah.
You're exactly that's actually a good point. I hadn't thought about this. Back in the day, going to the movies was something that kids did. I would go with my friend, I would go with my brothers. We would, just go to the movies because for something it's time to kill on a weekend. Now it's like, especially if you've got a family, or you've got, you're taking out your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, it's probably going to be a dinner as well. It's a big expense. So you want something good. Whereas before the stakes weren't as high. I never really thought about that. But yeah, that's how I see it now. I'm like, the next time I'm going to the movies, it's going to be Mario. I've already got it planned. Like, and I'm going to wait however long that is. friggin' 5 months.
Are you taking Clark?
Oh yeah,
Is
of
it-
course we will.
Yeah.
No.
Clark went to the
Daddy's
movies
going
for the
by
first
himself
time.
opening night.
No.
I'm gonna
I'm
tell him
gonna dress
about
up
it
in
next
all
morning.
my Mario gear. I'm gonna have my hat, my t-shirt. I got my overalls.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Just take Victoria and then let Victoria tell Clark about
Oh
it.
yeah, that would go like.
I can't wait to have
Camel
kids,
doesn't have
just to pit
kids.
them
Like
against
if
each other.
if you give any child even an atom of something more than you give to their sibling, that sibling will blow up. It's like kids have this radar for fairness, and if they notice any inequities, like even in the slightest, it's like you getting angry that Tarantino thing. Like they just
Well, that's why
she
that's
got
why
more
it's so
things.
easy to convert college kids into socialists. You know, they're like, we should all be on the
Yes.
same playing field. It's
Oh,
like, well,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
a
yeah.
child and you're a
Oh
moron.
yeah. I've always thought that. I think even someone said that that in the house it's communism. You have the dictator, and he gives you out what you need. He gives to each according to their need. Essentially, that's what happens in a house, and you can kind of just coast by without really working. I mean, you don't have to. It'd be good if you did do some chores, but you still get fed and clothed and housed either way. It's communism. So yeah, they take that and then they want to extend that out into the real world.
See, it wasn't like that in my house. In my growing up, it was no, you did your chores. If you did your chores, you got your allowance. If you got your allowance, then you can hang out with your friends and you can stay out late. And if you did good grades, then you could hang out on the weekends or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And so my brother never did anything and never did anything. So it's like, and he was, he'd scream, "It's not fair. It's not fair." And my mom would be like, "No, it's actually the definition of fair. You didn't do anything, so you get nothing."
Yeah. Well, I'm not at that stage yet of
this is
pocket
like when he
money
was
or
a
anything.
teenager.
Yeah. We'll get there, I'm sure.
Mike, do you want to show everyone what you've managed to get done during this session? You can go back to the start and show us how you've gone.
So, let me save it. A lot's been done actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, better save it. You don't want to lose the 2 hours of work you put into it. God forbid you have to do that again.
Okay, get ready to be amazed. Ready? Here it is. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's what it is.
That is actually better than what I thought you've done.
That is actually pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's not bad.
Let me turn on I'll get into the mask. So that's what it is now. It's not gonna let me do it. That's what it was at the start. So it was black. So I've done all that. Yeah, which I would have been able to do in about 15 minutes. Did I not jump on stream? But we all know that. So
just so everyone knows, this is the cover of the quadriptych for Boots and Heels. We're only going to make 40 of them. They're on the I was going to say Kickstarter. They're on Indiegogo right now. So if you want it, go pick it up. And we'll probably do an official reveal, later when it's like done.
Camel, why don't you like doing all these masks? Look at them all.
Masks? No, thank you.
Look at that one.
I'm looking at my campaign. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at Camel's campaign as well.
You
was talking about it. I thought I'd bring it up. That would make more sense,
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the screen. I apologize.
But yeah, we got that Preston Acevedo print. It was only 20 of those. We've already sold 5. And there's that big 7-inch hologram standee. There's only going to be 20 of those. And I think we've sold 5 or 6 of those. So yeah, things are moving. So I'm very happy with that.
Maybe you sold 6 of the standee.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the lunch boxes will be coming down, I would say, by the end of, if not mid-February, probably by the end of February.
The lunchbox is looking stacked right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is this it here? The lunchbox?
No, that's the shoebox.
Shoebox.
That's the
yeah,
shoebox.
that's looking stacked. That's awesome.
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff. You get 12 books and 4 stickers and 2 prints and the box. So it's a hefty price tag, but you really get a lot of stuff.
Nice. Speedkiller says, do we get Replicator 4 in 2023? Yep. Hoping to launch in March, maybe April, depending on how things line up. But yes.
I'm launching in April.
Hyper Wizard says, and 3 trading cards. That's right. If you go down, I can't remember if I announced this. I always forget. But we hit we hit the 30,000 stretch goal. So if you spend over $100, you get the hollow foil triptych trading card set with the art from Peter Orchard from the contest.
Oh, nice. So,
yeah, he went in there and actually fix some of the colors that Mike and I had suggested, so it looks really dynamite. And so if you spend $100, you're going to get that with your package.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that looks really, really, really cool. And it's funny because I wanted to do a triptych card set, and I was like, I guess I'll just draw it when I get to it. And then I asked Peter, I was like, oh, do you want to do this instead? Because as a triptych, it's hard to put in a gallery. And he said that, yeah, that would be great. So I was like, okay, cool.
Nice. Mike, how's your one going?
Let me share my screen. Oh, you've got it there?
I got it.
Ooh.
Look at that.
205.
7,000. Yeah.
Who was it again that said you get at least 200 backers?
Oh, that was someone.
I know
out
you
there
were
in
wrong
the world
by saying he'd only get 200.
Yeah, it's gone over.
Yeah, it's like Price is Right rules. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. No, that's awesome, man. That's amazing.
What's cool is I sent the print file to the printer today, so that's happening.
Who did you go with?
John. So the same guy who printed your Replicator books, and so yeah, that he's a little bit more expensive, but he's worth it. The quality, and you don't have to worry about any issues with things getting wrecked or anything that you do with other printers. But if you scroll down there, so we unlocked that print there. That's at the printers. We unlocked the bookmark. That's at the printers. We'll see if the magnet happens. I don't know if it will. We still got like 6 days. But
pretty
yeah,
close,
hopefully I just need to get the magnets underway now. So I think we sold like 20 sets or something. So get that underway, and then that'll be like everything I need for the campaign will being produced and ready for I'm guessing, so like mid-Feb kind of start fulfillment. That's the plan, which is what I say right there on the thing. February estimated delivery February. So all fingers crossed. I mean, I'm not promising anything. Last time I did this, it was frigging 2 months of printing headaches, but that's why I'm going with John this time. It's like I want to avoid that.
Yeah, he's good. Our cover's looking great, Mike. Really doing well there, isn't it? Doing good cover work.
What was Camel talking about? Universe where the red lights mean go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's going on there.
And Great Wheel giveaway. We've got 92 people in here. Make sure you sign up to this. You can win one of 17 original art pieces. Kelsey, Mike, Camel, me, Mandy, Phil, Dean, Patrick, Clayton. It just goes on and on and on. Reenie. So
did we get out 350?
Let me check, Mike. I don't know.
Let me check. So we were on 349 when we started the stream. We are now on 352. Thank you very much to whoever signed up. That's
beautiful.
Awesome.
If I sign up and I win, do I get some art?
You get nothing.
No.
What if I win and it's on my name? Can I keep my art?
He'll like it won't be Camel Moon. He'll say it's like
it's Llama
I
Sun.
don't know, some
I love that
weird,
guy.
well, it'll be like El Pimpo Maximo. Oh look, El Pimpo won.
Yeah.
No creators win, John. No creators win. It'll be fans.
I was very, very close to winning my own art contest. I think it's about time
You got
I win
real
something.
close.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Can you imagine the world just would have burnt down if you won? Mike and I would have had to go into hiding. No, we don't know where Camel is. We haven't seen Camel.
Just laughing, counting my money.
I know
on
nothing about.
Ooh, tax deductible. I wanted myself. Woo!
The evil schemes of this Machiavellian
mastermind.
Yeah. Winners get a Microsoft Zune, says Nocticon. No.
Yeah.
I will won't be streaming for the next couple of days as normal. I'll be at work. Although we will do Rob's show in 2 days at around this exact same time. So make sure you subscribe to Rob. And then the day after that is back to normal scheduling, my shows and the video game show over on Camels. And I got, I'm doing shorts every day now, so look forward to that. Tomorrow I will be premiering that Batman video, which is very funny. I hope you all watch it. I've watched it like 4 times because I just think it's funny. I don't know, maybe that's weird, but I don't know. I like to laugh. All right. Thank you, Camel. Thank you, Rob. The biggest thank you of all goes out to the wonderful, amazing, incredible, spectacular, always phenomenal, sexiest chat in all CG. I will see you guys soon. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Individually, we are weak, like a single twig. But as a bundle, we form a mighty fat